Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our special Storytime session. Today, we'll be reading a very special book, My Garden is a Square, a book that was created through the partnership of two globally renowned education influencers, Mark Hansen from Australia and Barbara Schindelhauer from Germany. And I'm so sorry, I'm just admitting people. Everyone in. So today is my 432nd day of reading stories live. I read every day at 7:05 p.m. Sydney, Melbourne time. Education Influence is a platform that facilitates collaboration between educators worldwide. And today we will be embarking on a journey to Numberland with Mark and Barbara, where Mark will share his personal story and insights on the significance of mathematics, emphasizing the positive beliefs outlined in his first children's book, Math for All, which we read a couple of months ago. And he will also offer advice for parents on how to support their children's mathematical development. And Barbara will delve into the history of Numberland and the research that supports its effectiveness. We will have a variety of techniques and resources available during our journey. And this session will be recorded and will be available on Education Influence's YouTube channel. In addition, it is also being live streamed on Facebook. So without further ado, let me just share my screen and we can commence our story time. Can you all see my screen? Okay, thank you. That's a thumbs up from Barbara. That's okay. Hi, Furley, how are you? Furley is tuning in all the way from Indonesia. Hi, Len. Please let us know where you're tuning in from. Thank you so much, guys. And yes, Nina is tuning in from all the way from the United Kingdom. Good morning, Nina. Okay, let's do this, guys. My garden is a square. A journey through the home of numbers and shape by Barbara Schindelhauer and Mark Hansen. Let's do this. Ready? Welcome, dear friend. Please take my hand as we visit Numberland. And what will you notice? What will you wonder about each special number? I cannot wait to meet all the numbers. Okay, let's do this. Nice to meet you. I'm round number 0. Don't forget me. I'm a superhero. Some of the time I represent nothing, but at other times I can really be something. Oh, he's cutie. What do you notice? What do you wonder about this special number? I think I noticed that his house don't have any windows and he has a very sweet smile. I live next door. I'm happy number 1. I'm one of a kind and know how to have fun. I live in a house with 1 window dot. Only 1 dot. Well, that's not a lot. She's very sassy. I noticed that she has 1 flower and her garden is a circle. She has a football and there's a sun. Exciting. I live next door. I'm lovely number 2. I'm 1 and 1 more, and we know that's true. I live in a house with 2 window dots. That's more than just 1, but still not a lot. Oh, look at her hat. It's so cute. It's very, very cute. And I do notice that she has a flower. There are 2 birds. Oh, she is pretty, isn't she? I live next door. I'm just a number 3. I'm 1 more than 2 and I ran with glee. My beautiful garden has 3 straight sides. A house with 3 dots is where I reside. She's very jolly and look at her hat. It has 3 She's number 3. She's number 3 indeed. I know. 2 feathers. I know. Well, she has 3 bells. It looks like bells. I'll live next door. I'm lovely number 4. To see me, knock 4 times at my door. I wear 4 beautiful braids in my hair. And look at my garden. That is a square. Oh, she's so pretty with her braids and everything. And she has 4 bows. Oh, look at her 4 braids. It is very, very pretty. I'll live next door on Big Buttons 5. Oh, let's go chasing clouds. I feel 5 alive. The shape of my garden is a pentagon. A house with 5 dots is where I belong. Oh, look at his cute little coat. It has 5 buttons. And it has 5 flowers. And its garden is a pentagon. It's very something. It's very cool. I'll live next door. I'm sassy number 6. The feathers on my head make a fancy mix. Can you see that my house has a 2nd floor? There are 5 window dots and then 1 more. He has 2-story house and 6 dots. And look at his feathers. So fancy. It's so fancy. I'll live next door. I'm charming number 7. The scent of my roses sends you to the next level. My home has 5 dots on the 1st floor. Then upstairs, you're right, there's 2 more. Oh, he's very fancy and very romantic. Look at his heart-shaped coat. It has 7 hearts. And look at his flowers. That 7 yellow roses? It is so cool. I'll live next door. I'm gentle number 8. My luscious garden is optic and shaped. I happily water red flowers each day. To draw me, you go around like a raceway. That's right. Look at her freckles. That's so cute. I'll live next door. I'm playful number 9. I've got 9 big feet, but I'm really quite kind. I'm the last number with only 1 digit, and I love it when friends come to visit. Oh, he is a party guy. Look at his flyers. And he has 2 stories too, and the 9 windows and 9 flowers. Look at those shiny teeth. It's getting really, really interesting, guys. They are all beautiful. I live next door. I'm now door number 10. I love maths. I'll say it time and again. My backpack has 10 pockets. Just take a look. And now we are hiking to the end of our book. Oh, he is very, very smart. Sassy, and look at her pockets. It's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. But there is anything after 10, or this really could be the end. I hope not. Ha ha! I'm a trickster of Numberland. I have many tricks close at hand. Messing around. What fun that makes. It would be boring without mistakes. He looks dangerous. He looks dangerous. Can we fix Trickster's blunders? He just took 5 flowers. Oh no. And also her window, I think. Someone has to stop him. I am the Lily. I'll help you to fix the mistakes you spot and Trickster's tricks. I'm a caring friend who can help you through. Together, we'll make Numberland as good as you knew. Oh, such a cute. Well, she looks like a butterfly, and she's like a guardian angel. She has numbers, all numbers. Her wings. She's like a princess with a crown and everything. Thank you for visiting this magical place. We hope another journey soon awaits. You can visit Numberland anytime and tell us what else you can find. We found so many things. We found so many secrets, and they are all amazing. And well, now we're going to visit Numberland with Mark and Barbara. Stage is yours, Mark and Barbara.
Wow, thank you, Anusha. Your level of passion and experience and dedication to education is inspiring. And as you said just before, 432 nights in a row reading, I can't thank you enough, and I can't believe that you've managed to achieve that. So massive congratulations to you, Anusha, and for everything that you do. We appreciate that. So my name's Mark. Thank you for everyone who's joining us here today, and also to those people who watch this on a later clip. Thank you again to Education Influence and to Gavin McCormack and everyone involved in the organisation. It was through that organisation that I met Barbara, but going back from that a little bit, as I said, my name's Mark. I'm a deputy principal and a former master teacher of mathematics. Mathematics is the passion, or one of the passions of mine. I love teaching maths. It's fantastic, and also trying to help students have that disposition and that mindset towards positive mathematics, and ensuring that our schools are set up for that is one of my passions. And I guess I've been helping Education Influence in sharing some of those resources. And a couple of years ago, I had basically just woke up one morning with an idea for a book about trying to rectify some of the misconceptions kids have about mathematics. And that was a book called Maths for All. It's this one here. You see that? And so that was published a couple of years ago through an organisation called TBR Books, and a fantastic gentleman by the name of Fabrice Jamont, who is basically the godfather of bilingualism, of multilingualism. And he was very receptive to the idea of it. He's had that book published through his not-for-profit in multiple languages. And Barbara might be able to tell you how, but somehow she became aware of that book. I believe it was through Education Influence, that on LinkedIn we'd connected, and she'd obviously seen a post or something, and then for some reason she decided to buy the book, which is unbelievable. And then she liked the book, and Barbara will give you more information shortly about Numberland and her journey with that. But I believe that she just had this idea of maybe creating a book to introduce the Numberland concepts and these characters, these numbers, and for them all, they all have different personalities, different traits, different interests, and things like that to help students learn basic numbers. And so basically we just became, started conversing about that. It was only, it would be less than 12 months ago. It would have been maybe March last year, 2022. Went backwards and forwards a little bit, and I sort of, be honest, I thought initially, I don't know if I'll be able to help or how will this work. I've never met Barbara, but as soon as I had my first video conference with her, I just thought, wow, this lady's, first of all, a really lovely lady, but also really passionate. And we shared a lot of the same philosophies around mathematics. So I guess that's what I want to talk a little bit about before passing to Barbara. And that is that, a lot of us say things like, oh, I'm not good at maths, or, when I was at school, I wasn't good at maths either. And I guess one of my passions is trying to help people rectify those misconceptions. That's the idea of that other book, Math for All, which I'll just read from my little blurbs here. There's myths like girls aren't good at maths. And again, that's a myth. That's not true. There's no research that indicates that. There's myths about, oh, just memorize the facts and then you'll be okay with maths. Well, no, maths is a lot more than just facts. Lots of people think maths is just about numbers or it's about speed. And again, those are myths as well. So that book does a good job rectifying some of those. For us as parents, sometimes we say things to our kids like, oh, it's okay, you you've got mummy's brain. I wasn't good at maths at school either. And unfortunately, there's a lot of research that says that that's really detrimental to kids and their learning, and basically, squashes their knowledge of mathematics and their will to try. And mathematics is a lot more than just numbers. It's a lot more than just fluency. It's a lot more than just, getting facts and retaining them. It's basically about the way that we think. So even Einstein said something along the lines of, I'm no more smarter than anyone else. I'm just more curious. And I think curiosity is a big part of mathematics. And Barbara may speak about that, about the fact that we want the kids to be engaged and curious about the world around them. And that's what one of my passions as well, making sure that kids enjoy mathematics. The fact is, it's almost socially okay to say we're not good at maths. If someone says that, we don't blink an eye too much. So say, oh, neither am I, or oh, aren't you? We would never say, oh, I'm not an English person, or I'm not a geography person, or I'm not a history person. We don't tend to say that, but saying I'm not a maths person is kind of a thing, which we don't want it to be, because maths is not the trigonometry and all that other tricky stuff that we've forgotten about from high school. Mathematics is what brought us here tonight. We're on time. We're here at 6 o'clock. Our battery on our laptop's fully charged. We have got food in our fridge, hopefully. We've managed to purchase that. We've driven to the shop or found a way to get to the shop on time when it's open. All of that stuff in the world around us is what mathematics truly is. It's not just about facts and numbers and things like that. So my advice for parents or teachers would be just look for maths everywhere. Maths is everywhere, and that's the concept of Numberland, is that you can look for the maths everywhere. As parents, playing board games, just games like Yahtzee, games like Monopoly, anything where we're adding and subtracting, moving backwards and forwards. When you're talking with your children about mathematics, it's not about, oh, this is how I do it. Let's solve it this way. It's often about, oh, how did you solve it? And just talking about, schools have changed so much since I was at school, when we were told one method and that was the way you did it. Now it's more about, okay, talking about it. How did you do that? How did you come to the answer? For example, in Australia, in the Australian National Curriculum, there's now 4, proficiency strands: fluency, understanding, and the other 2 are problem solving and reasoning. So you can be pretty good at the facts, but if you can't reason, if you can't problem solve, if you can't communicate, you're going to struggle with maths in most curriculums these days. There's even, critical thinking skills. We're talking things like, communication, critical literacy, thinking about what's the best price and why. There's so much communication in mathematics that I'm passionate about as a parent, and also about, I guess, as a teacher. For children, if you're watching, a couple of pieces of advice for you: everyone can do maths. Everyone can do maths. So put your hand up, have a go, share your thinking, and ask questions if you're not sure. So many people are afraid to put their hand up. Most teachers love hands up. Even putting your hand up and say, I'm not sure how to do this, that's so beneficial. And then your teacher knows, okay, this child's struggling, I can help you from there. So yeah, so that's basically what I was going to speak about tonight, just some little tips about maths. I've got a great timetable if you are a teacher, a timetable for how I would teach mathematics if I was in a classroom right now. Things like warm-up activities, number talks, open-ended learning, while still problem solving, while still finding a space for fluency, and learning times tables, and that is still valuable. But like I said, there's kind of 2 sides to it. There's the fluency understanding part, and then there's the problem solving reasoning. So if you want to be in touch with me, just sing out. I'll put my email address in the comments there, or Anusha may share it as a little handout that I've done. But any questions? This book's not for profit. I don't take any royalties. I'm happy to help anyone with anything mathematical, teaching-wise. Really appreciate Anusha and Gavin and Education Influence, all of the people who are joining us here tonight. Please stick around, because Barbara in a second is going to talk about Numberland, and I presume she's got some materials and resources to show us. You may be able to see my numbers in the background here as well, Barbara, so you can see that one there. I'm on a poor quality camera at the moment, sorry, because I've got a guest in our office at the moment, so I'm in another room. But yes, I met Barbara. We went backwards and forwards, and then in October this year had our new book published, which is, last year, sorry, My Garden is a Square, which Anusha has just done such a tremendous job reading tonight. Thank you, Anusha. And yeah, I'll pass over to Barbara, because Barbara is, yeah, a wealth of knowledge, incredible. The Numberland concept, I was sold on it as soon as I saw it. My own kids love it. I encourage you to, purchase the book. If you're having trouble or hardship difficulties purchasing it, flick me an email. I'll try and help you. And then I encourage you further to keep going, looking at the resources that Numberland has. And yeah, I'll pass over to you, Barbara. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Mark.
Yay! Good morning from Germany, everyone. Thank you very much, Mark, for handing over, and Anusha, thank you so much for reading our book. It was so cute, it was so much, it's so special hearing you reading our book, and I really so much enjoyed it. And I read through the chat that people already spotted quite a few things. So hello, everyone around the world. It's amazing from the countries from which you are tuning in. I think this is a wonderful start into the new year for me. I mean, 2022 already has been amazing. As Mark pointed out, we met last year, only had a first chat in May. Yeah, we met through Education Influence, that amazing platform Anusha and Gavin are running. And so we met over this platform, had a first chat in May, then developed the idea of our, my goodness, a square picture book. Then Fabrice Jaumont from TBR Books, in July, he said, yeah, let's go, let's do this book. And in October it was there. And now I'm holding it in my hands. And also in Hindi, and even more languages are in preparation. And I just can't believe it. And this is because TBR Books and Fabrice, they are passionate about bilingualism, promoting children as well. And maths is a language as well. It's the language that we developed to describe our world. So for me, this is also, I'm particularly happy about this because, Numberland is really, really big in Germany. It started in 2004, and I'll speak about this in a second. So it's really kind of a standard approach here in preschool settings for children from 3 to 5 years of age, sometimes even during the first weeks of primary school, because it's versatile and flexible, as you will see in a minute. But it has become increasingly international, yes, because it's fairly easy concept. But until I met Mark and Anusha and Fabrice, I really didn't have the resources at hand that I wanted to make people, to provide what I think is needed to make it really easily and accessible. So let me give you an idea what I'm talking about. So Anusha, I would like to share my screen with a little presentation that I put together. Obviously today we don't have that much time, so we can only dip our foot into the idea. But I guess especially because you see Anusha has taken you through the book, which is a starter, I think we can do a good job here. Back in 2000, and this is a little timeline. Back in 2004, Dr. Gerhard Friedrich published his research study. He's a pedagogue, father of 4 children, so very much into holistic development of children. So not academic training of a certain subject, but really looking at the entire child and make sure the entire child develops properly. So he published his research study, and what he had done was he wanted to find out whether, or he looked at what is it that young children need to know, need to understand about numbers before they enter formal nutrition. Because today, from many, many international studies, we know how crucial the early years are, how crucial it is that children have a thorough, correct, and structured understanding of what numbers stand for. And often maybe we rush through that too quickly, or we approach it in a way that it's not appropriate for the children. As Mark said, give children the opportunity to explore their way, to find a solution, to solve a problem their way they may want to try. So he looked at, okay, what is it that children need to know on this side? And then on the other side, which is really, really smart, he looked at, what does it need to get there? How are the children like? What are they like? How do they learn? So what does their world look like? It's highly emotional. It's very imaginative. Children want to play. They want to move around. They want to touch things. Things must have a meaning for them. So that means, what do they already know? What experiences do they have? What do they like? What do they need? And all this thinking, this is familiar with us. Maybe sometimes we forget or don't think we could also apply this to maths. But Gerd did this. Children love stories, they love music, play, active play, exploring, free play, all this kind of stuff. And very important, everything for them is alive. So, so he combined these findings from neuroscience and developmental psychology, the how with the what, with the didactics of maths. And out came Let's Visit Numberland. And I at that time was a stay-at-home mom of 2 children. You see them here in the picture, as every mom loves to share pictures of their children. There you see Tom, then a rising 5, and Tina, who had just turned 3. I much enjoyed being with my children, but I also went through all these insecurities of raising a child. So when I read that article, I thought, wow, the results are really amazing. And more, maybe even more, this is so cute, so natural. I can just see ourselves doing this. The results were impressive because Gerd could show that within only 10 weeks, when the children would be visiting the numbers 1 to 10 after each other, one after another, within only 10 weeks, children would gain 1 entire year in terms of their mathematical understanding, as well as in language capabilities. Which is so important if you think about it, that you need to understand and that you also need to be able to express yourself. Language is the key to communication. And also children and the socioeconomic background of the children did not matter whatsoever. So a strong indicator that any child can proceed here, can have a good start into the math career. So the results were impressive, as I said, even more that just beautiful, imaginative world, I thought. And here you see my self-made numbers. I cut them out of wood and crafted a few other resources, and off we went. And because of what happened to my children, also to me, this is why I founded the IFWL to contribute to promote this really, really simple and efficient concept among teachers, basically mainly among teachers throughout Germany, because my idea is that if I reach the teachers have children from all kinds of families, and if they have this holistic concept at hand that really provides an environment in which the good things happen, then this is a valuable and very important contribution to our future. So that was my mission and has been ever since. I partnered with Gerd Friedrich as my scientific advisor to make sure everything is correct, and off we went. So this is in a nutshell, and I can say my children are very good at maths. They are over more than 20 years old now, and still have very happy memories on our trips to Numberland. They have these, these positive images of when we were playing in Numberland. And my son, he because of Numberland, he started to love drawing, and he would help his little sister. And Tina, at the dinner table, she would shout out, "We're sitting in a triangle, and if Daddy was here, it would be a square." Imagine little things like that going on. So I realize I still stick with the first slide, so I guess I should move on and give you an idea with some pictures. So, as I said already, what Numberland has been designed 100% through the eyes of children. So, it's a translation of this abstract maths into the imaginative, concrete, tangible world of children. And as I said, the neuroscience and developmental psychology combined with mathematics. And what you see here, you see the similarities to the book. I mean, the book is basically, yeah, a door opener to let's visit Numberland. So the numbers have a home just like us. Any child can understand that idea, because for a child everything is alive. The toy puppet, the doll, everything is alive. Sorry. So why not have giving the numbers a home as well? And in this case, it's not, well, we may start with a book, but in this case, it's a tangible home. This one is made out of cardboard. You can also see it like this. This is, for example, a resource that I can provide, but you will later see some other examples of how you can make these houses, because it's only the principle that is important. And we decorate these gardens, you know, and lots of things happen while we decorate these gardens. Now let's talk a little bit about the math in Numberland. Where do we come from? I said we start from the point of the children, where they start their mathematical career. And it's, for us, it's very important to always remember where we start, and that it takes a while. It takes really a while, a long time actually, to build a bridge from our inborn mathematical understanding, which we all have, over to the formal language of math, over to the language of math with its symbols and abstract forms. So we are all born with, and we are all born with some subitizing abilities. We share that with mammals. We can also all say from birth, this is one flower, that are two flowers, that's one more flower than this flowers. And up to 3, we can do this. We don't have a name yet, but we have this in our brain. So this is called subitizing, the ability to grasp a quantity at a time. I think that's quite interesting to be aware of this. But then mankind developed further, and we want to push our prehistorical brain, which is pretty happy with this 1, 2, 3, one more, and many concept. We wanted to push our brain and develop this formal language of maths. So we have those numbers, and we have our numbers. Our number system is based on 10, also something that we need to grow into. And that's on the other side of the bridge. And as I said, it really takes a while to build this bridge. And it's not by sitting at the desk and think, okay, now let's learn about numbers. It's about children learn this through their daily play. And if we provide an environment that enables experiences and play and exploration of these facts, then we're doing the right thing. So if maybe I would like to speak about this one second more, because it's just so important for us to really understand. We come from this 1, 2, 3, many, and then that little blue and red dot thing you see in the corner, that's a 10 frame, and this is really what children will need later on in primary school, an inner image of what a number 6, for example, looks like, and then be able to calculate 6 and 5. That makes one full 10 frame, and then one of the next one. This is something that is really important for children and will help them to calculate properly. But I can only touch this shortly. Okay, so going back to the book, Here we have all our numbers. As you see, it's we meet all the numbers and they have a house. And on the house, we have the window dots, and the window dots represent the quantity that a number stands for, a quantity. So here the children can see, aha, it's always one more. Of course, it doesn't have to be organized like that. A quantity anything is a quantity. 5 pebbles, 5 elephants, 5 cars, 5 twigs, everything is 5, and no matter how they are arranged. But organizing, structuring those quantities on the houses is one step of making the principle clear for children. And as Mark said, if you play board games on the dice, we have this familiar picture of a quantity 5 and 4 and stuff. Then we have, and we don't speak, and then these numbers, it's always one more, and the numbers have the predecessor and the successor, but we speak of neighbors, and which is very close to the children. It's very easy for them to memorize that. If we look a little bit closer on the pictures, Anusha did that while she read through the book, but let's do this again. Here I have number 4 and number 6. First, I would like to point out the principle of the houses. You see, up to, or maybe this is better on that slide. Sorry. So you see that the houses follow the hands of the children. Numbers are also kind of represented in our quantities represented in our bodies. We have 5 fingers on one hand and 5 more fingers on the next hand. So when we have 1 to 5, houses 1 to 5, and then proceed to number 6, we have 1 hand and then one more, and then it's 1 more, and 5 and 2 for the 7, and so on, which again is a very close, is a very narrow step for children. Okay, so let's take a little closer look at the pictures. By the way, I have to say these pictures, these characters have been drawn by best friends of my son, Tom. And it has been such a joy to work with these young design students. It's just, you know, see, it's kind of a family project, so to speak. So as Anusha mentioned, number 4, you know, see our numbers, they are individuals, they are characters, they are alive, and they have feelings, and they are different, as we all are individuals. So number 4 has these 4 braids, but number 4 also holds a book in her hand, and in total it's 4 books. See, so in the picture we can spot details about the numbers, and you can use this as an eye opener and also as a communication starter. And it's like, oh, I see. It's always nice if you say, oh, look, I see those 4 braids, and how many are they? And no, as Anusha did when she read the book. By the way, those 4 books, if you think closer, what shape does the book have? It's a rectangle. It has 4 straight sides. So this could be a conversation starter to talk about rectangles, right? Now, let's look at the garden quickly. There's 4 flowers, but you will see it's not 4, the flowers have different colors. It's 2 yellow and 2 pink colors, flowers. So this is the idea to bring across, see, it's 4 in total, but we can split a number, and this partitioning is ever so important. And because we use it 2 and 2, we build on this 1, 2, 3 knowledge that children already have. And the same thing on the other side with our sassy number 6 and her fancy feathers on the head. There we have 2 blue and 2 yellow and 2 pink flowers. So you see, again, we have the partitioning, and you can use this. You can also use this language anytime during your daily routine. If you say, okay, so how many plates do we need for dinner? We have 4 people, so we need 2, and here I have 3. How many more do we need? See, language like that. And you see those little 6 little beetles on the bottom of the page. Okay, 6 beetles. But if you think about it, beetles have how many legs? 6 legs beetles are. So we could look at what kind of beetles do we have, do live in our vicinity? Maybe we find some beetles outside, or other insects, because beetles are insects. So we can explore on insects. It's all about exploring, you know, and you see what I mean? Opening the eyes and enjoying these connections. My little daughter said, oh, we're sitting in a triangle. It's about finding the marks around us and enjoying these connections. Number 10, intentionally has these 10 pockets in her backpack, our outdoor number 10, because this way we indicate the placeholder. It indicates that 10 can put any of the numbers from 1 to 9 into the backpack and thus create the numbers 11, 12, 13, and so on. So just a little detail here I wanted to point out. And again, the trees see 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 more. Right. Trickster. Trickster is the most beloved character in Numberland, I can say. Why? Trickster serves the good versus bad thinking of children. If you, children love it to rescue someone, to fight the bad. They love this. So Trickster is the person who brings across that mistakes happen. What he does is he steals items from our Numberland gardens. And the children have really lots of fun to spot these mistakes and to correct them again. That's so Trickster brings across mistakes happen. It's okay if they happen. It's nothing bad. And in the end, everything will be okay again. And if we want, we can call Numberland to help us sort these things out again. So that's a very important thing, that children dare making mistakes, because this is the way learning works. So now I have pointed out a few ideas, Numberland ideas in the book. Now I would like to flick through a couple of pictures to give you an idea, or maybe inspire you how you could use Numberland in your setting, or maybe also at home, and give you an idea of how people around the world really have been going around Numberland. For example, here you see how you see a garden of number 3 and another garden of number 4, and you see 2 completely different versions of a house, and the numbers 3 and 4, and especially how the children decorated the gardens. And here again, you see how you can talk about it, and how you can just have a conversation about what could we bring for number 4? Would this really fit into the garden? Why does it fit into the garden? You see, it's only 3 red laundry pegs. But see, there's another one. There's also 1 blue laundry peg. See, and so here the children see. So they collect the quantities, and they look, how many do I have? How many more do I need? And decorate the gardens. And the opportunities are endless. What do we find at home? See, I found this fork for number 4's garden, and the little fork for number 3's garden. So we can also use anything that we have at hand. And this is the beauty about it. It can also look like this. I'm particularly proud of that school in Lusaka in Zambia, who made these fabulous Numberland resources, and they had so much joy playing with them. It's really, really wonderful. And as you see, you can use anything, use your imagination, maybe also design the elements together with your children, because crafting, cutting and painting, all these things, that's good for the fine motor skills, for the eye-hand coordination. We need all these things. Here's a little more fancy stuff, because Gerd Friedrich also offers ready-made resources. So here again, you have an example of how this neighborhood full of maths can look like. And again, you see what these gardens are decorated with. It's all from what we have at hand. In this picture, another criterion becomes important rather than just the quantity. If you look at the butterfly, for example, where could this butterfly land? In which garden could it land? Well, could be garden number 1 because it's one butterfly, but a butterfly has 2 wings, like the 2 birds in number 2, in the story of number 2, you see. Okay, then it has 2 and 2 pink, 2 green, and 2 violet thingies on the wings. See, right now, me as a German person, I miss the words for these thingies, but I still know what it is, so I can point it out. And you, as the English teacher, you can say, yeah, you're right. These are 6, whatever it is in English now. But this is how we can bring in the language of a non-English of a not native speaker. So this is how we can also help learning a language. Or the little toy car you see here, it's only one car, but it has 4 wheels. And how many doors does it have, or how many mirrors? So the children will, what I want to say is that the children will look at their toys with completely different eyes and look for details. And this also is something that we need for to spot the details, and they will have a discussion and then decide on where to put this car maybe this time. And they could even say, you know, it can go into go to number 8. Why? Well, 4 wheels and 4 doors, that makes 8. So, you know, a little idea. This is, I just quickly take you through the rest here. This is our number lane, which is our way into and out of Numberland. Again, a source of lots and lots of opportunities to play and explore the numbers in different ways, and always important aspects. Then children love being active, so you can relate active games to Numberland, or on the right side, feel with your body what a pentagon feels like. You know, you really feeling the own body is very important, also even to learn math in the first place. Be creative. This is just the idea is just to have a little folder where you collect artwork that is that emerges throughout Numberland, that is inspired. You know, when you read the book, you can say you could have the idea of drawing a picture of number 8, for example, or there you have that lying 8. You know, if you do this, it's good for to connect the left and the right side of our brain. So artwork in any time, any artwork is, or crafting is fantastic for children, for their motor skills and muscle and eye-to-hand coordination. Here, just a few more examples. There's even a nailed number 3, which makes beautiful music if you move it around. You know, just flick through there to give you a few ideas, some inspiration. Numberland as a starting point for general knowledge. We talked about this, you know, how we can look into insects and explore what insects we have around us, draw them, make active games, songs, stories, whatever, and really, really find the math and enjoy, really enjoy the math everywhere. So that's a really, really quick rush through Numberland. But I want to close with this slide to remember us really that for a child to develop properly sound, they need a lot for them in development, and we cannot teach separate academics, especially not in the early years. They learn through play, and they need all these things that I listed here as a little quick reminder. And especially the self-esteem and the self-efficacy is very, very important. And the beautiful thing about Numberland is that we get the feedback, especially from primary schools, who say that children who have visited Numberland have a better have the language, have the self-esteem, they know more, and it really has an impact to even out inequalities when it comes to education. And I think this is, Numberland has a math anyway, Numberland has a highly integrating and inclusive effect if you imagine that the children do all these things together, play together, and this is what I wanted to bring, what I wanted to bring across. So I'm really happy that that now we have this little picture book available even in various languages, such as Hindi is already available, Arabic and Chinese are in preparation, and more languages are to come, which I think is really a fabulous opportunity to dive into mathematics with the eyes of young children. So I hope in this short presentation I could bring across the basic idea of Numberland, and I will now stop my sharing of the screen. 10 minutes left, I guess.
Thank you,
That's
Barbara.
quite a good timing.
Oh, amazing timing. Thank you so much, Mark.
Quite a good timing. And Anusha, I hand back over to you and see what happens next.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have teachers and parents tuning in from all over the world to hear you and Mark speak, Barbara. And we have Magaga from Kenya writing interesting in how we incorporate beautiful and insightful stories in maths and especially numbers. Every child will definitely love this. Just thinking of how this can be a strategy to dispel the myth that math is technical and is only favoring a section of gender population, a way to narrow the STEM gender representation gap in sub-Saharan Africa. So many bubbling thoughts as I continue to watch and listen.
Wonderful.
Cherry writes, great to see the new Numberland book. Love the squirrel and butterfly for the naughty and helpful characters. Keep up the good work. Have to go another Zoom now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Magaga. Thank you, everyone. And you will be able to watch the recording on our Education Influences YouTube channel. You just have to, I'm just popping them for you. So youtube.com/education influence, and I will be emailing you all with the recordings very soon. And thank you so much, Mark and Barbara. Thank you for your amazing presentation. And if you have any other few words, please, if you have any questions from Mark and Barbara, please do unmute yourself. The floor is all yours.
Magaga right here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Magaga. We can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you can see me. It's dark right here. Okay, my name is Magaga. I'm from Kenya, and I just find myself so lucky and a moment well spent listening to the recording and the reading and just the insightful. I'm a math and science teacher in Kenya, and I work with an organization called Beads for Education and also another organization called 100. But basically on the ground, what my role is to inspire girls from vulnerable Maasai communities in Kenya to love science. And some of the questions I've been exploring is how to make education more lucrative to girls so that they can see I can prefer it other than being married off or rather married off at a young early age or dropping out of school. And part of this aims at finding various ways to make the often considered technical subjects like math and science to be more fun and enjoyable when teaching. And I think watching this video, hearing Mark talk and Barbara explaining the number book, and this really gives me just talked so much with me when I was doing all this and listening here, and I just can't say thank you enough. And I think I'd love so much to follow up so many questions and just ways to explore more and see how this is done. So working with high schoolers from grade 9 to 12. I'm also running advocacy program about arts integration in learning with the primary school students from grade 3 to grade 8. So I work with maybe around 7 schools, where we always walk around and see how we can get arts to make learning more fun, to keep these girls in school. And so I'm thinking of I'm thinking of ways to just connect and see how this can be, what we can discuss furthermore today. So thank you so much, guys. I always talk too much, as you go going to know as we proceed, but I beg to say over and out now.
Thank you, Magaga. You have anything else to share with him, Barbara or Mark?
Well, Magaga, thank you for your words, and I'm absolutely happy to follow up and see how you could how Numberland or anything we are doing here could support you in your work. But the beautiful thing about maths is it's a universal language, it's a global language, so it really works everywhere, and also children are the same everywhere. And me myself, I personally take so much pleasure in using what I have at hand, like maybe this or whatever, my cutlery, and then make something out of it. And be relaxed about it. I mean, children, they see us using using maths, right? They see us, they want to learn this language as well. It's them who want to. It's just us who need to really remember how much joy this can be, how beautiful it is, and how easy it can be to explore something together, rather than here I am, and I now want to teach you that because my curriculum says year 2 do this. We don't have to. We can really relax and go down to what is inside of all of us. So Magaga, I really look forward to follow up, and with anyone here who's here today or watches this video, also get together with the team of Mark and Education Influence. Education Influence I can really recommend as a fantastic network. There's teachers from all around the world sharing knowledge, inspiring each other, and it's not so that we don't keep, it's not separate, but we can connect also our knowledge and expertise, which is beautiful, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Barbara. And yes, you may connect with Barbara at her email, barbara@numberland.net. And with Mark, we can connect on his email, markhansen1983@hotmail.com.
I had a couple of quick tips for Magaga, if that's okay too, Anusha, just to really quickly reiterate what Barbara is saying, and you can see this is why we get along so well and have the same philosophy. Our curriculum here, and I guess a lot of international curriculums, talk about helping the students to be confident, creative communicators. So if you run with that sort of idea in your classroom, you can't go too far wrong. So often, as Barbara was saying, we teach and we say, okay, this is how we do it, and I want you to do that. What that does is, it can make kids feel a bit insecure. They don't know how to do it like the teacher is. And it also just has that relationship, just so much sort of like, a power imbalance there between the teacher and the student, so much that the student finds it difficult to be creative or confident. As Barbara was saying, my number one tip would be concrete materials, using the things that you have around you so that children can manipulate and use what they have. Doesn't matter where you are, just whatever you can get your hands on wherever we are. And so concrete materials be number one. The second thing, like I said, some way that students can be creating and communicating with each other. So we don't want just the teacher to set the task and then the students do it. And so often I've seen classrooms here that do that. We want the students to be having a say about what they're learning, and also talking to their friends about mathematics, and really, really enjoying that aspect. And one option that's really good like that is called an open-ended question. So rather than saying, okay, what's 5 times 5? We could say, what are all the sums that could equal 10? That's a far better question, because then kids can play around. They can think, okay, it could be 2 plus 8. It could be, and then they might realize, oh, actually, it could be 3.5 plus something else plus 10, or it could be something plus something plus something plus something. So it's just a far better question, what we call an open question, without that set answer. So yeah, open-ended questions, concrete materials would be my 2 big tips, and confident, creative communicators. But any questions, feel free to flick them my way or Barbara's. We'd be happy to help anyone.
Thank you.
And thanks, and I would also just end with one quick remark. always remember that bridge, that we come from this 1, 2, 3, many in our brains, and then build that bridge. So also throughout your daily routines, use maths language. As I said, okay, oh, I want to prepare dinner. So here I have 2 potatoes. Oh, that's a big potato. It's much bigger than the other one. And can you hold this for a moment? So you can use the math language all the time through the daily routines. And also ensure that the children feel their bodies. They feel they are up, they are down. Where's my head? Where's my toe? All these things really also have an effect later on learning maths and anything else. So really be or interact with your children. That's what also really important to me, because learning maths doesn't just start at somewhere. It's a process. It's a process in the entire natural development of children. That's important to me today. I hope I made it a little clear now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for your amazing.
Anusha, Anusha, I only just had one last comment to you. In terms of what I find interesting in all this is how it is incorporated, and the reading aspect coming back. When I logged in, I found you reading. And at Beats for Education, we find the reading culture to be a great tool to make the education system lucrative to see, because through reading, learners are able to tour to different worlds and develop empathy for different cultures. Now, to widen their thinking just beyond their communities, because people may lack inspiration or sources of things to make them know that they're very, very capable, but they get this from the book. When we read about different cultures, we read about different environment, these kids develop empathy and they find the zeal and the courage and the inspiration to continue pressing on. So I just want to say that I'm so much happy to have been a consumer of your work right now, and I'm so grateful. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Magaga. Thank you for sharing your insightful words. Thank you very much for being part of our story time and a visit to Numberland. And please join educationinfluence.com. We will be honored to showcase you as a global education influencer representing Kenya. And please email us or me at Anusha@educationinfluence.com if you have any problems, if you have any queries regarding registration. Also, you may watch the recordings on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/educationinfluence. And also we have a various teacher training workshops happening every month. So you may visit the website and you can it's all free. They're all shared by teachers all over the world. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Barbara, for making my story time really, really special. And 432nd day is the one to remember. Thank you so much, everyone. And yes, I will be saying goodbye to you alongside Mark and Barbara. See you again. And yes, if you want to tune into my story time, I do read live every day. So it's every day, 7 p.m. Sydney, Melbourne time for you all. So if you want to tune into my story time, or if you need story times, please, you can just visit the page, and the videos are there. So 432 videos are there already and counting. So we will be, we will say goodbye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.